Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you Kenyans not to panic, not to fear Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga's current intentions is not to wrestle power from President William Ruto. He just knows too well that that is impossible. Raila Odinga's intention is not to bring electoral reforms. Neither is his intention electoral audit. Raila Odinga's intention is to start a fight with the government of the day. When you lose internal popularity, you start an external war to gain cohesion within. Raila Odinga is not interested in Kenyans. He is not interested in the welfare of Kenyans. Neither is he interested in the welfare of the Luo. Raila Odinga is interested in keeping the Luo in control. He is interested in keeping the Luo youth, who are largely poor and largely uneducated, still believing in him. Even internationally, when an international leader is losing popularity at home, they tend to start external war, international wars, to create cohesion at home. That is scientific. If anybody outside Luoland attacks Raila Odinga, the Luos sees it as an attack on them. The only way to deal with Raila Odinga is to keep him pinned at home, fighting for his political life within Luoland, because it is Luo is interested in. Take away everybody in Kenya but leave Raila Odinga with the Luos loyal. He will be satisfied. His purported fights for the presidency is all meant to keep the Luo behind him, believing he's fighting for a common cause for them. Is to keep them following him. Is to keep them believing that they need to support him to achieve what he's going to achieve for them. The Luos love victory, even just for sentimental values only. That explain why they can kill for just losing a football match. The Luos following Raila Odinga is Raila Odinga's greatest source of satisfaction and probably income. These are the people who would pay him just for greetings. These are the people who would pay him just for a photo session. These are the people who would easily hire for him a chopper if he's coming to their areas, and probably even had him for pocket money. This is the region where Raila Odinga has made sure he has installed compliant governors, compliant speakers, and favorable MCs throughout. In fact, it is very interesting that Raila Odinga purports now to be the one to allow Luo leaders to work with the government of the day. Is he suggesting the Luo have seceded into their own country? Is he suggesting the Luos have seceded off Kenya? Raila Odinga purporting to allow Luo leaders to work with the government of the day is simply because he had noticed they would do it with or without their permission. But he doesn't want to be exposed that he's losing ground in Luoland, because Luoland is his business basket. The Luos are his wares in this trade. To deal with Raila Odinga, do not deal with him nationally. When anybody outside Luoland attacks Raila Odinga, the Luos see it as an attack on them. Let Raila Odinga be dealt with by fellow Luos. Let Raila Odinga be attacked by Luos. I know his mode of operation anyway. If he's under attack by fellow Luos, he employs violence. But I know he's not a person who plans. He's never strategic. He's never strategist nor a planner. All he will do is call his local loyalists to meet violence on that new opponent. And that is how he has brought everybody down. But knowing that that is his trick, All men are men. And all these violence meters always are paid. That is all. And that is something anybody can do. All one needs to do is meet fire with fire. Raila Odinga needs to be dealt with within Luo land. That is all he's interested in. Even his recent desperation to have a handshake with President William Ruto that manifested itself in Siaya at the homecoming of CS Odoyo, it was clear that desperation was so that he can get into government and lock out his opponents from Luo land from being part of the government. Because majority of the people who have been warming up to the government of President William Ruto are people he has parted ways with locally. So he wants to again run to government and block them. This is the method he has used over the years. But when James Orengo announced that he had just spoken to him an hour earlier and was now requesting the president to talk to Raila Odinga for the sake of unity, it wasn't the sake of unity. For him, it was the sake of blocking out his opponents from working with the government of the day. And when that did not happen, when the president ignored that request as if it wasn't placed before him, the man got enraged way back in South Africa and decided to come to Kenya. So enraged that he could not even go to his house for a change of clothes or for a cup of tea or even for a shower. He had to go to a rally to vent his anger, purporting that he wants electoral reforms, purporting that he wants electoral audit, breathing fire, making the people who were there believe he wanted to wrestle the presidency from William Ruto. Nothing can be further from the truth. Those are not his intentions. His intentions is to clearly create an enemy for the Luo. When you have an external enemy, there is internal cohesion. An enemy outside Luo land makes the Luos rally behind Raila Odinga to the last man. And he uses this largely uneducated, this largely poor Luos, even to control the other elite Luos. Because once they are behind him, he uses them to deal with the elites politically. You disobey him, he ensures you don't get elected. Because they believe the only thing they should elect is that Raila Odinga has endorsed. It is time we knew how to deal with Raila Odinga. It is time we saw through him. It is time we knew his intention. Because this is a man that there is not even a single nursery school in Luo land in his name. Not even a cattle dip. Not even a donation for school fees or to a funeral or to any project. He believes everything in Luo land is his right to deal with the way he wants. That also explains why in Luo land, any form of rebellion, he responds with violence. Because he can't believe he can compete with them. He's godly, he's above everyone else. If he believes he's so popular in Luo land, anybody who goes against him, let him go against them politically. However, that is not the problem. If it is violence in Luo land, let it be. Because the Luo land must be free to elect leaders of their own choice. The Luos must be free to make decisions that they have thought through. Not to act like zombies. Not to be led anywhere whether it is right or wrong. Not to be lied to and they are not supposed to question in the end. It is time. The Luos were free to think. The Luos were free to make decisions. The Luos were free to decide their destiny and their future. You cannot point, even to make a statement on a development issue, even to attend fundraising to raise money for his people. Yet these are the people who vote so that his business party ODM makes hundreds of millions that not even a single cent returned to the Luo. The Luo politicians every election year in their hundreds pay the party. In their hundreds pay the party leadership. But that money never returns to them. Directly or indirectly, it benefits one family. The position that arise from the party, they first distribute within the family before the Luo touches it. The negotiations he makes at national levels, at cross-national level, with other political leaders for support or concessions, whatever is paid for them, the Luo never get to know. But they keep on supporting without question. It is time. These people discovered they are in jail. It is time. These people were freed, for they do not know they are in jail. God bless Kenya. God bless the Luo.